Now, in an unlikely alliance, the Greens have thrown their support behind Peter Dutton's supermarket divestiture proposal, with the party's economic justice spokesman Nick McKim labelling Labor as isolated in its refusal to support the plan. James, it's been reported that the coalition is split over this. Has a rift emerged?
No, a rift hasn't emerged. The party room was quite strong in adopting this policy yesterday. And this is a policy about ensuring that we deal with the cost of living crisis in Australia. It's about ensuring that families can have access to fresh food and veggies that's affordable. It's also about ensuring that the farmers and suppliers can actually get a good price. And that is a good thing. And I think all parties should be supporting this.
Now, earlier this week, we showed you the level of tolerance that the Greens party has shown towards the disgraceful defacing of our war memorials in Canberra, a move that I and many others deeply condemned. It's absolutely disrespectful to our veterans and our troops. And now the coalition is trying to get a motion passed in the House of Representatives condemning the vandals. Daniel, what's your reaction to the way the Greens have responded to this?
Well, look, this might be an issue where James and I agree. I suspect it will be. Look, I find the position of the Greens on this indefensible. I find it bemusing, but then again, not altogether surprising, because the Greens have taken an incredibly cynical, opportunistic political stance on what's a very difficult, complex issue when it comes to the Middle East and Gaza. So the Greens aren't willing to vote on a motion that is condemning something that I think the vast majority of people in Australia would find completely unjustifiable and unacceptable. It's pure politics, frankly, and we're seeing this play out in a whole range of areas around the country, including in my electorate, where my office has been defaced half a dozen times. The windows were smashed on one occasion and we had to close for 2 weeks. The Greens party quite often, all too often, has been egging these kinds of acts on. We saw a debate in the House tonight on a motion where the Liberal Party and the Labor Party didn't agree, but there were thoughtful speeches on both sides. I thought Julie and Lisa gave a very thoughtful speech on the opposition side. On our side, Ed Husick gave up his time for Josh Burns, something which was noted by speakers on the other side. But then the Greens, in their contribution on that motion, gave what I thought was a highly divisive and really inappropriate speech. So this, to me, is just one more reflection of the Greens taking a highly inappropriate and divisive attitude towards this broader issue.
Yeah, I completely agree. James, we're almost out of time, but what's your response?
The Greens are morally bankrupt. They are defiling our democracy by refusing to condemn the desecration of a sacred memorial to the men and women who have died defending the dream that is Australia. They are just horrible, horrible, horrible people.
Yeah, it's something the three of us all agree on. Daniel Molino, James McGrath, good to have you both on. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this evening.